Hi, I'm Stephanie, and welcome back to Building Your Path to Success. If you are a high school student who just graduated and you're about to start college in the fall, or if you are a college student and you're going back for your second or third year, fourth year, this is the video for you that sums up everything I'll talk about, building a meaningful resume, and what do I do next? College I attended, what happens next? Or I'm about to start, what happens after that? Let's jump right into this and move along, because I know I try to do fast videos now because a lot of you have things that you're doing. So let's jump right into this. What next? Current college students, that includes those who are about to start going to college. What happens next? Everybody has a college major. It can even be called undecided, freshman, whatever it is. Everyone has a major. If you're undecided, you will eventually have a major. You cannot stay in college 4 years without a major. So some of the things that you like to think about is, if you don't know your major, what is your career goal? Think that you can kind of sometimes work backwards depending on what that is. And why did you choose to go to that particular college? And what do you hope to get out of college? Those are just questions in the background that you could be processing on your own. And when you think about a major, although it is always something that you have a passion about or something that you're interested in doing, you also have to kind of think of what is the rate of investment? What is the return on that degree? You don't want to go to a school, even if it's a state school somewhere, and you're paying $25,000 a year, that's $100,000 after 4 years, and come out making $25,000. That's really not people's goal. And yes, you want to be happy, but no one's happy sitting in the dark. So, what is the rate of return? Because some people are going to college just so they can say, I went to college, but what are you trying to get out of it? And those are all things that you need to think about and talk about with your family. Mapping out your plan. Of course, if you go, your ultimate goal is to graduate. However, that should just be the beginning of something bigger. It should not be your goal is just to graduate. You have to think about your career goal. What have you done to be selected for that career or for graduate school? What makes you stand out? So these are things that you have to think about, because ultimately you hear me talk about internships, meaningful internships all the time. What should you be doing now? How can you build that resume? And these are some things that you could do to build that resume. Meaningful paid internships. And of course, that includes your REUs and things. Conferences. There's a lot of conferences. Participating on campus. Learn about graduate school, professional school, and those options. Because ultimately, this should be the segue to something bigger, as I stated earlier. Meaningful internships. It is not, I was a lifeguard. That is not a meaningful job for the summer to help propel me to a better place. Meaningful internships are going to allow you to apply what you've learned in the classroom and your career field so that you are more marketable. When do I start looking? Well, internships open up starting in August. Most don't start open in August for the following summer, but they do start in August. Most will open up September, October, November. Some after that, but the really good ones are going to open up sooner. And it also depends on your major. And that's for the summer following that. There are a lot of meaningful internships for freshmen. So freshmen have to do some extra digging. And how do you find out about this? Talk to your professors, family, friends, University Career Center. If you go to a HBCU, you can look at the Thurgood Marshall College Fund, HBCUIs, NVLOs, USA Jobs, and the list goes on and on. But these are good starting points for you to look at. Where can I start looking? If you are in science or STEM, you want to look at the National Science Foundation. I do post in the fall very frequently, several times a week, and I explain some of the internships, REUs that I find, and I go over that extensively. Conferences. You may say, well, conferences are boring, and some very well are. But it's a learning opportunity, it's networking. See what's happening in your professional field or your industry. This is how you find out. And these conferences, a lot of them have scholarships for undergraduate students, even graduate students. If you're a graduate student, sometimes your package came with money set aside for you to attend so many conferences during your stint as a graduate student. So if you're an undergraduate student, a lot of times there's scholarships you can apply for. Your department may pay for it. So talk to people. You do not work in isolation. Talk to professors, the dean, the assistant dean, not necessarily for your friends. They're not going to usually foot the airplane bill and the cost to attend a conference. A conference can cost you $300, $400 plus the hotel and the airfare, and even being reimbursed for the food. Your university may very well do that, as well as the conference itself. Sometimes your fraternities and sororities have leadership events, conferences. There's professional conferences. There's some local ones. Look and see if you can find some local ones wherever wherever you live. There's women conferences. Again, do your research, talk to your professors. Your professors know. They don't always advertise that they know. They want to see who's interested. This is not for the person who's laid back and scared to talk. This is for these opportunities are for the leaders, the students who can speak up for themselves. You have to let your professor know, hey, I'm just getting here. I know I'm a freshman. I have big dreams. And you're talking to not any professors, those within your major field. And I would like the opportunity to attend a conference in my summer after my freshman year, to have an meaningful internship. Or if you're doing research, maybe I can do research with you under my work study, or for free, volunteer, so that I can get hands-on experience and you can see my work, so that you can write me a good letter of recommendation so that I can apply for these conferences or internships, whatever it may be. Now, if you're further along, I just did a video specifically on graduate school. I'm not going to really talk about this timeline here. I did a video about that, and you can watch that video and get a lot more detailed information, but it's good to know. You are the captain of your ship. Think big. You may not want to go directly to work. You may want to continue your studies. Some things you may want to think about or be is, here we go, Rhodes Scholarship. That opens up July 1st. It's very competitive. Again, that closes in October, so you have to be on it. I will be researching it now so that when the application opens July 1st, I can start that process. You do need a 3.7 GPA or higher, and you have to graduate coming up this year. So if you're applying this year, that means you're a senior. And we have the Department of Defense Smart Scholarship, USA Pathway Programs, White House internships, USA Jobs, Peace Corps, REUs, and Fulbright. These are things you can be looking at. Then there's, I'm in the Philadelphia area, so there's a Campus Philly Jobs Internship Database. There's museum jobs. We have a lot of museums here. We have a lot of hospitals here. Creative Hot List, Way Up. So there's a lot of things that you can look for. Things do change every year, but pretty much most things are the same. So think big. Your career center may not have internships. They're looking for jobs there. You don't want a job. You're going to college to have a career. You need meaningful internships, and meaningful internships and REUs are going to pay you $5,000, $6,000, even up to $20,000 for the summer. They're not going to be paying you that kind of money just so you could go make Xerox copies and get some coffee. That's not meaningful. Meaningful is applying the knowledge that you have, learning some new knowledge, and going back to school, understanding how all those courses work together within your field. Another thing you may want to think about is a bridge to doctorate program. So a lot of times there's money for doctoral programs. However, it's not as much money in the master's area. So, and I mean, there is money, but it's not as much all the time. So they have a lot of bridging programs. I have listed here a few of the bridging programs, but there's many others. Again, these are a few bridging programs that you can look at and get an idea of what a bridging program is. So some schools may operate together. I know one of these on here, Fisk Vanderbilt. You go to Fisk for the master's and you segue right into Vanderbilt's doctoral program. That's a bridging program. So the schools kind of work together. Again, all this information is to empower you so that you can start thinking about, what is my mission? What is my journey? What is it that I want to do in the purpose of me going to college? These things are important, and it's best if you know where you stand so that you can make the most of it. You cannot start in your senior year getting ready. You'll start from the day you walk in or apply and that you are accepted and you graduate high school, you are preparing. So if you have graduated high school, you are now getting someone to check that resume so that when the internships or AUs open up, you have a detailed resume to start applying. Good luck. And you can come back through here and flip through on your own. Send me a message. Please give me a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, and good luck on your personal journey.